Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. I really need to have a serious conversation with my previous self because he decided to leave me with this really tough choice here to start off this episode. Honestly, I do think talking about yesterday, what happened the previous night, would be the smart move before we get into whatever the serious stuff is. I think it would be completely stupid, though I am curious about, what would happen, but I think it'd be very stupid to go with that third choice. But who knows? I do think that if we want Reen cookie points, I think, or brownie points, I guess, whatever you want to call them, if we want to score with Reen, we'd have to go for the second choice, I think. But I'm going to go with the first one personally. I think that's the one to go for. We need to figure out what went down, There's no point in talking until I understand my own situation. I'll need to understand where I am before I try to get where I'm going. That's the basics for a journey.
まずは昨日の話からのがいい。
そうね。まずは状況を知るのが先。なんだ。
Oh wait, was this actually the right one?
あなた。
Alright, bring on the points. With a smug grin, Tosaka launches into a brief explanation of last night's events. Apparently, Berserker left right after I lost consciousness. Afterwards, my body started to heal on its own, and was back to normal after a few minutes. I was still unconscious, so Tosaka brought me here, and the rest was as I remember it. Well, that's a little anticlimactic, but whatever.
あなたはあなた一人で生き切ったっていう事実よ。確かに私は手助けしたけど、あの傷を完治させたのはあなた自身の力だった。そこ、勘違いしないでよね。
話を聞くとそうみたいだけど、なんだ、遠坂が直してくれたんじゃないのか。
まさか死にかけてる人間を蘇生させるなんて芸当はもう私にはできない。意味や四郎は自分でぶっ飛んだ中身をどうにかしたのよ。
Yeah, I'm sure that was a lovely sight for everybody in the area. I don't really have an answer to that. My stomach is back to normal, yes, but I'm honestly still dubious about what Tosaka said. I can't even use any healing magecraft, much less raise the dead.
そうなると原因はサーバントね。あなたのサーバントはよっぽど強力なのか、それとも召喚の時に何か手違いが生じたのか。まあ両方だと思うけど、何らかのラインがつながったんでしょうね。
ラインって使い魔と魔術師を結ぶ因果線のこと？
That's the connection. That's what fate means.
ほら、ちゃんと使い魔の知識はあるじゃない。
I'm joking, by the way. I don't know if there's actually a connection with the name of this series.
なら話は早いわ。
I'm just joking around,
要
being all
するに
silly
エミ
and
ヤ君と
whatever.
セーバーの関係は普通の主人と使い魔の関係じゃないってこと。見たところセイバーには自然治癒の力もあるみたいだから、それがあなたに流れてるんじゃないかな。普通は魔術師の能力が使い魔に付与されるんだけど、あなたの場合は使い魔の特殊能力が主人を助けてるってわけ。
簡単に言って川の水が下から上に流れているようなもんか。
うまい例えね。本来ならありえないだろうけど、セーバーの魔力ってのは川の流れを変えるほど膨大なんでしょ。そうでなければあの体格でバーサーカーとまともに打ち合うなんて考えられない。
No, definitely. Honestly, I didn't even think Saber was that small.
本来ならありえない。
It wasn't until we saw her sprite that I was like, oh,
遠坂とアー
okay.
チャーは普通の魔術師と使い魔の関係なのか。
そうよ。人の言うこと全然聞かないやつだけど、一応そういう関係。
And I honestly kind of dig it. From like the little bit of, the two of them that we saw in the prologue for those 3 or 4 episodes, I kind of liked their dynamic. It was fun.
マスターとサーバーとのつながりなんてガソリンとエンジンみたいなものだもの。こっちが魔力を提供してあっちがそれを食べるだけ。
Though,
中
oh,
には
nope, she's still
肉体面
talking.
でもサーバントと共有して疑似的な不死を得たマスターもいたそうよ。サーバントが死なない限り自分も死なないなんていうやつなんだけど。エミヤ君、人の話聞いてる？
Apparently I'm not if I'm not paying attention to these quotes. I need to look for the little quote
聞いてる。
end.
じゃあ遠坂、俺の体って 多少の傷はほっといても治るってことか。
あなたのサーバントの魔力を消費してね。理屈はわからないけど、原因がセイバーの実体化にあることは間違いないわ。あなたが自然治癒の呪いなんて習得しているはずはないから。
当たり前だ。そんな難しいこと親父から教えてもらったことないからな。
そうじゃなくて、そうだったら私が悩む必要はなかったっていうことよ。いいわ、あなたには関係のない話だから。
Oh, what a caring person she is. Honestly, despite how many flaws she definitely has, despite wanting to give off that perfect image, she's kind of a charming character. Huh? What does she mean? I wonder why Tosaka's being so roundabout.
まあいいわ。とにかくあまり無茶はしないこと。
Well, I don't know about all that.
今回は助かったからいいけど、次にあんな傷を負ったらまず助からないはずだから。多少の傷なら治るなんていう甘い考えは捨てた方がいいでしょうね。
分かってる。俺が勝手に怪我して、それでセイバーから何かをもらってるなんていうのは申し訳ない。
バカね、そんな理由じゃないわよ。断言してもいいけど、あなたの傷を治すと減るのはセイバーの魔力だけじゃない。あなた、それ絶対なんか使ってるわ。寿命とか性分とか預金残高とか、ともかく何かが減りまくってるに違いないんだから。
Okay, so we shouldn't just be, throwing our life around. We shouldn't be trying to, go to the front lines. Like we, stupidly did. Tosaka huffs once again. And I agree, but...
遠坂、預金残高は関係ないのでは。
I don't think that's the point, buddy.
関係あるわよ。魔術ってのは金食い虫なんだから。使ってればどんどんお金は減っていくものなの。
Wait, really?
そうでなければ許さないんだから。特に私が。
Uh-oh. Tosaka absolutely explodes with fury. It's odd, really. The more I talk to her, the more this Tosaka feels like the real one, while the girl at school feels like an act, because, well, that's kind of how it is, but though I guess I already noticed that yesterday.
まあ、お金の話は置いとくとして、次は真面目な話だけど、いいかしら、エミヤ君。
Oh, I hope so.
遠坂がここに残った本題ってやつだろ。いいよ、聞こ
う。じゃあ率直に聞くけど、エミヤ君、あなたこれからどうするつもり？
Honestly, that is a powerful question. I don't even think we had a plan of action, last night when we got attacked. We were just trying to get home. But what do you do from there, honestly? Tosaka asks the one question I hope that she wouldn't. Actually, that's not entirely true. It's not that I don't want her to ask so much as I haven't really thought of my answer yet. What am I going to do now? It's the question I want to ask.
正直わからない。聖杯を競い合うって言うけど、魔術師同士の戦いなんてしたことがない。第一、俺は
More than anything, I want to avoid any killing.
聖杯なんていう得体の知れないものに興味はないんだ。欲しくないもののために命を張るのはどうかと思う。
言うと思った。あなたね、そんなこと言ったらサーバントに殺されるわよ。
殺されるってどうして？
Because you're fucking throwing your life out there.
サーバントの目的も聖杯だから。彼らは聖杯を手に入れるという条件だからこそマスターの召喚に応じているのよ。サーバントにとって最も重要なのは聖杯なの。彼らは聖杯を手に入れる可能性があるからマスターに従い、時にマスターのために命を落とす。だっていうのに聖杯なんていらないよなんて言ってみなさい。裏切り者と切り殺されても文句は言えないでしょ。
なんだそれ、おかしいじゃないか。サーバントっていうのはマスターが呼び出したものなんだろ。なら
サーバントが無償で人間に従うなんて思ってたの？聖杯は手に入れた者の望みを叶える。それはマスターの守護者であるサーバントも例外じゃない。
Is it only one wish? Does it have to be decided between the master and the servant who gets the one wish, or Do each of them get the one wish? Do they get multiple wishes?
サーバントたちにもね、それぞれ何らかの欲望があるのよ。だからこそ彼らは本来ありえない召喚に応じている。聖杯を手に入れるためにマスターがサーバントを呼び出すじゃない。聖杯が手に入るからサーバントはマスターの呼び出しに応じるのよ。
The servants have wishes too. Does that mean Saber also has a wish that she wants granted by the Holy Grail?
だからサーバントはマスターが命令しなくとも他のマスターを消しにかかる。聖杯を手に入れるのは一人だけ。自分のマスター以外に聖杯が渡るのは彼らだって承知できないのよ。
Well, I think that also helps explain why she was so adamant on, attacking Rin the other night. Actually, that was last night. God damn, what a long
サーバントに
night.
はレイジを奪うなんてことはできない。彼らが他のマスターを無力化するには殺す以外に方法がない。だからね、たとえマスター本人に戦う意志がないとしても戦いは避けられないのよ。サーバントに襲われたマスターは自分のサーバントでこれを撃退する。それが聖杯戦争なんだって綺麗から嫌っていうほど聞かされたでしょ。
ああ、それは昨日の夜教えられた。けど
That means the servants must fight and kill each other. I thought it would have been enough as long as the masters made peace with each other and gave up the Holy Grail. But if servants answer the summons because they also seek the Holy Grail and will never give up until they have it, then battles between servants really are inevitable. But then, is the girl who fought so hard to protect me also here to fight, kill for, and maybe die? All for the Holy Grail? Yeah, a little bit.
英霊だかなんだか知らないけど、セイバーは人間だ。
That's how far she's willing to go.
流してた。
あ、その点は安心して。サーバントに生死はないから。サーバントは絶命しても本来の場所に帰るだけだもの。英霊っていうのはもう死んでも死なない現象だからね。
Even more reason to just fight all the way to the end then.
当事者であるマスターだけよ。
いや、だからそれは。
Even if their deaths are figurative, it doesn't change the fact that something which takes the form of a human dies in this world.
何、人殺しだっていうの？魔術師のくせにまだそんな正義感振り回してるわけ？あなた。
Tosaka's right. As a mage, death is never far. I understand that fact, and I've long since resigned myself to it. But I'm not strong enough to be the judge of when and where other people should live or die.
当然だろう。相手を殺すための戦いなんて俺は付き合わない。
へえ、それじゃあミスミス殺されるのを待つだけなんだ。で、勝ちを他のマスターに譲るのね。
そうじゃない。要は最後まで残っていればいいんだろ。自分から殺し合いをする気はないけど、身を守るための戦いなら容赦はしないさ。人を殺しに来る相手なら逆に殺されても文句は言えないだろう。
Okay, well, there we go then.
受けに回るんだ。それじゃあ他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するのね。例えば昨日のあいつが暴れ回って町の人間を皆殺しにしても無視するってわけ？
The thing from yesterday. You know, the thing that carved a big ol' hole in your body? That twisted inhuman demon. I mean, his hang-up is that he sees the servants as also human because they look human, right? So, could he really see Berserker as potentially human? Or, because of how deadly he is, could he actually see him as a monster, and maybe go a bit further compared to everybody else? It's strong enough to level a house with a single blow. If it set its mind to it, I'm sure it could destroy all of Miyama overnight. To make matters worse, servants can turn into spirit form. Humans who lack the ability to sense the supernatural can't even see them. But as soon as servants materialize, they can interact with the physical world. You could say that they're the ultimate weapons. No modern technology or weaponry can affect a spiritual form. Our attacks don't work on them, but they can hurt us. It's a depressingly one-sided arrangement. From a normal person's point of view, servants may as well be natural disasters. When people die to an invisible killer, those deaths will just be treated as accidents or natural causes.
なんだよそれ。サーバント、いや、マスターとサーバントは他のマスターしか襲わないんじゃないのか。町の人たちは無関係だろう。
ええ、そうだったらどんなに平和なことか。けどそれなら見届け役の綺麗なんていらないでしょ。一つ言い忘れていたけど、サーバントっていうのは霊なの。彼らはもう完成したものだから今以上の成長はない。
Right.
けど燃料である魔力は別よ。蓄えた魔力が多ければ多いほどサーバントは生前の特殊能力を自由に行使できるわ。そのあたりは私たち魔術師と一緒なんだけど、あなたこの意味わかる？
Kinda.
わかる。
Maybe.
魔術を連発できるってことだろ。
Magical energy is like gunpowder. The mage is the gun itself. Like how there are different guns, pistols, rifles, shotguns, mages all have a variety of abilities. To continue the metaphor, servants are more like artillery cannons than firearms. They burn a huge amount of gunpowder to launch massive shells.
そうよ。けどサーバントたちは私たちみたいに自然からマナを提供されてるわけじゃない。基本的に彼らは自分の中だけの魔力で活動する。それを補充するのが私たちマスターで、サーバントは自分の魔力プラス主であるマスターの魔力分しか生前の力を発揮できないの。けどそれだとあなたみたいに半人前のマスターじゃ優れたマスターにはかなわないってことになるでしょ。
Even with a servant as powerful as Saber, we're already like down a foot here.
その抜け道っていうか、当たり前って言えば当たり前の方法なんだけれど、サーバントは他から魔力を補充できる。サーバントは霊体だから同じものを食べてしまえば栄養は取れるってこと。
Eating something similar.
同じものって霊体のことか。けど何の霊を食べるって言うんだよ。
簡単でしょ。自然霊は自然そのものから力を汲み取る。なら人間霊であるサーバントは一体何から力を汲み取ると思う？
It really is an easy question. Just as we eat meat, human spirits, like servants, will have to eat.
ごめんと。まあ魔力の補充なんて聖杯に補助されたマスターからの提供だけで大抵は事足りる。けど一人より大勢の方が大量摂取できるのは当然でしょ。はっきり言ってしまえばね、実力のないマスターはサーバントに人を食わせるのよ。
Oh, fun.
サーバントは人間の原感情や魂を魔力に変換する。自分のサーバントを強くしたいのならそれが一番効率がいい。人間を殺してサーバントへの生贄にするマスターは決して少なくないわ。
生贄にするって、それじゃあ手段を選ばないやつがマスターならサーバントを強くするために人を殺しまくるってことなのか？
Yeah. Whoever the master is of Lancer is probably trying to do that very specifically. Because he set up the school to basically sap everybody's life force out of them, right?
そうね。
I mean, that's going back to the prologue, which has been a little bit,
そんな無
but
駄なことはしないんじゃないかな。
I'm pretty sure that's what Rin was investigating.
いい？サーバントがいくら強力でも魔力の器そのものには限界がある。能力値以上の貯蔵はできないんだから、殺して回るにしても限度があるわ。それにあからさまに殺人を犯せば教会が黙ってないし、何よりそのシーンからサーバントの能力と正体が他のマスターたちにバレかねない。もちろんマスター自身の正体もね。聖杯戦争は自分の正体を隠していた方が圧倒的に有利だから、普通のマスターならサーバントを出し惜しみするはずよ。
I get it. If you don't let anyone know that you're a master, then the other masters won't attack you. Conversely, if the other masters know who you are, you're just asking to be ambushed. It stands to reason that no one would be reckless enough to let their servant attack civilians and risk getting exposed.
よかった。 なら問題はないじゃないか。マスターが命令しなければサーバントは無差別に人を襲わないんだから。
でしょうね。仮にも英雄だもの。自分から人を殺して回るやつはそもそも英雄だなんて呼ばれないだろうけど、もう断言はできないか。暴虐者だからこそ英雄になった例なんていくらでもあるんだし。
Tosaka just casually raises a truly terrifying point. That she sounds genuine about it rather than sarcastic or ironic might be a reflection of her twisted nature. That is something to highly consider, though.
話を戻しましょうか。で、どうするの？人殺しはしないっていうエミヤ君は他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するんでしたっけ？
I take it back. She's not only twisted, she's a jerk who's going out of her way to drive me into a corner. All with a smile.
そうなったら止めるだけだ。サーバントさえ倒せばマスターだっておとなしくなるんだろ。
呆れた。自分からマスターは倒さないけど他のマスターが悪事を働いたら倒すって言うんだ。
Or if we get attacked?
エミヤ君、自分が矛盾してるって分かってる？
ああ、都合がいいのは分かってるけど、それ以外の方針は考えつかない。
問題点が一つあるけど言っていいかしら？
Yes, please. I can see the gears turning in her head. She's up to something. But I promised to listen, so I need to hear her out.
いいけど、なんだよ。
昨日のマスター覚えてる？エミヤ君と私を簡単に殺せとか言ってた子だけど。
How can I forget? She attacked us on our way home without any warning.
あの子、必ず私たちを殺しに来る。それはエミヤ君にも分かってると思うけど。
So what do we do? Do we just sit around and wait, or do we try to do something to get the advantage? Oh, right. That girl's a master too. She knows that Tosaka and I are both masters, and she's bound to come after us eventually. It could be today or tomorrow, but we've already signed our death warrants. I have no chance of stopping that monster.
あの子のサーバント、バーサーカーは桁違いよ。マスターとして未熟なあなたにあれは撃退できない。自分からは何もしないで身を守るって言うけど、あなたは身を守ることさえできないわ。
悪かったな。けど、そういう遠坂だってあいつには勝てないんじゃないのか？
正面からじゃ勝てないでしょうね。白兵戦ならあれは最強のサーバントよ。きっと歴代のサーバントの中でもあれと並ぶやつはいないと思う。
それは俺だって同じだ。今度襲われたらきっと次はないと思う。
My hand moves unconsciously to my stomach. The wound is closed. It's probably not even fair to call this a wound. It's the spot where a gigantic sword nearly killed me instantly. I can't shake off the sudden wave of nausea that wells up in me when I imagine the next time I might get a taste of that blade.
そういうこと。分かった。何もしないままで聖杯戦争の終わりを待つなんて選択肢はないってことが。
ああ、それは分かった。けど遠坂、お前さっきから何を言いたいんだよ。死刑宣告された俺を見るのが楽しいってわけでもないだろ。
そこまで悪趣味じゃない。
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything.
ここまで言ってるのにわからない？要するに私と手を組まないかって言ってるの。
I was thinking of that. I was, in the back of my mind, you know? But at the end of the day, is it even worth it? What now? What? If I take those words at face value, that means...
手を組むって俺と遠坂が？
そう。私のアーチャーは致命傷を受けて目下治療中。完全に回復するまで時間がかかるけど、それでも半人前ぐらいの活躍はできるはずよ。で、そっちはサーバントは申し分ないけど、マスターが足引っ張ってやっぱり半人前。ほら、合わせればちょうどいいわ。
俺そこまで半人前なんかじゃないぞ。
No, you're pretty shit, man. I'm sorry to say.
私が知る限りでもう3回も死にそうになったのに、1日で3回も殺されかける人間なんて初めて見たけど。
けど
There's no buts about it, bro.
同盟の対価ぐらいは払うわ。アーチャーを倒されたことはチャラにしてあげて、マスターとしての知識も教えてあげる。あと暇があればエミヤくんの魔術の腕を見てあげてもいいけど。どう？
And what does she get out of this? She gets a better chance of survival right now because she has one more of her spells, and she also doesn't have Archer right now. Ugh. It is an attractive proposition. I know next to nothing, and Tosuka does seem knowledgeable. And I'd like to avoid fighting her if I can.
エミヤくん、答え聞かせてほしいんだけど。
She urges me to make a choice. Wow, really? We actually get to choose here. No, we'll team up. I do think that that's the way to go. Strength in numbers. I'm sure you guys have all heard of that. But something deep inside does worry me about doing so. I mean, we'll do it. We'll do it. But I wonder. Besides, I don't have much choice. There's too much I don't know, and I have no experience as a mage. If Tosuka is offering to help me, however temporary, it's an offer I can't turn down.
わかった。その話に乗るよ、トサカ。正直、そうしてもらえればすごく助かる。
決まりね。それじゃあ握手しましょう。とりあえずバーサーカーを倒すまでは味方同士ってことで。
そっか。やっぱりそういうことだよな。
Okay, I guess that's better.
その方がわかりやすいか。
I don't think that they should be teammates for the entirety of the war. There will have to be a time where they will have to face off against each other. Maybe not to the death, but they're gonna have to fight. Only one person can win. I shake the offered hand. I'm a little perplexed. Tosuka's hand is so soft, it reminds me that she's a girl. My hand in comparison is covered with scratches, and it seems a poor match for hers. The fuck was that? The moment I think that, I find myself getting embarrassed. Come on, man. I quickly pull back my hand.
何どうしたの？やっぱり私と協力するのは嫌？
No, he's just having an
いや、
internal
そんなんじゃない。
crisis.
トサカと協力し合えるのは助かる。今のはそんなんじゃないから気にするな。
Oh, come on. Tosuka looks at me strangely.
はは
Her face turns mischievous.
なんだよ。つまんないこと言ったら契約破棄するからな。するぞ。絶対するからな。
あなた、女の子の手を握るの
Oh,
初めてだったん
come
でしょ。
on. Come on.
なんだ、顔が広いように見えて白っては奥手なんだ。
違う。そんなんじゃなくて、ただ。
There's no way in hell I could say that I just got embarrassed because it was her. Yeah, fine, I haven't really touched a girl so intimately before, but that was intimate? What the fuck? And no, Fujine doesn't count. She's more like something from a different planet than someone of a different gender.
って、
What did Tosuka just say?
聞いてた通り、ほんと顔に出るのね。まあ、今のは追求しないであげましょう。変につっついて意地を張られても困るし。
Oh, how thoughtful.
じゃあ、まずは手付金。これあげるから協力な証と思って。
I don't know where she had been keeping it, but she tugs out a giant book and then slaps it on the table. It looks like a diary. There's no title and the cover is wine red. It seems to be Tosuka's trademark color.
私の父さんの持ち物だけど、もういらないからあげる。一人前のマスターには必要ないものだけど、あなたには必要だと思って。
Tosuka gestures for me to flip through it.
じゃあ、ちょっと失礼して。
I open to a random page. And then... Oh shit, here we go. There's nothing written on the pages. Oh wow, the fuck? I just got two achievements for unlocking menus. There's nothing written on the pages, but a strange image suddenly pops into my head.
遠坂、なんだよこれ。
各サーバントの能力表よ。聖杯戦争には決められたルールがあるのはもう分かってるでしょ。それはサーバントにも当てはまるの。まず呼び出される英霊は7人だけ。
Right.
その7人も聖杯があらかじめ作っておいたクラスになることで召喚が可能となる。英霊そのものを引っ張ってくるより、その英霊に近い役割を作っておいて、そこに本体を呼び出すっていうやり方ね。口寄せとか降霊術は呼び出した霊を術者の中に入れて何らかの助言をさせるでしょ。それと同じ。
Yeah, definitely. Ghosts
時
and
代
all
の
that.
違う霊を呼び出すにはあらかじめ箱を用意しておいた方がいいのよ。
クラス。ああ、それでセイバーはセイバーなのか。
Yeah, come on, man. Even I figured that one out.
そういうこと。英霊たちは正体を隠すものだって言ったでしょ。だから本名は絶対口にしない。自然彼らを表す名称は呼び出されたクラス名になる。
I don't know why What's-Her-Face decided to tell us who Berserker really was, because that actually gives me a completely different impression of the true powerful strength that resides deep within that servant.
で、その用意されたクラスはセイバー、ランサー、アーチャー、ライダー、キャスター、アサシン、バーサーカーの7つ。
Okay, so we have not come across Rider, Caster, and Assassin yet. Saber, obviously. Lancer, we've been fighting against for a little bit. Archer is hers, and Berserker was the one that decided to create a big ol' neat little hole in Shirou's body, of which he somehow
聖杯
healed
戦争
from.
のたびに1つや2つはクラスの変更はあるみたいだけど、今回は基本的なラインナップね。通説によると最も優れたサーバントはセイバーだとか。これらのクラスはそれぞれ特徴があるんだけど、サーバント自体の能力は呼び出された英霊の格によって変わるから注意して。
英霊の格。つまり生前どれくらい強かったかってことか。
それもあるけど、彼らの能力を支えるのは知名度よ。生前何をしたか、どんな武器を持っていたかってのは不変のものだけど、彼らの基本能力はその時代でどのくらい有名なのかで変わってくるわ。英霊は神様みたいなものだから、人間に崇められるほど強さが増すの。
Okay.
存在が濃くなるとでも言うのかしらね。信仰を失った神霊が精霊に落ちるのと一緒で、人々に忘れ去られた英雄にはそう大きな力はない。もっとも忘れられていようが知られていなかろうが、元が強力な英雄だったらある程度の能力は維持できると思うけど。
じゃあ多くの人が知っている英雄で、かつその武勇伝も並外れていたら。
間違いなく A ランクのサーバントでしょうね。そういった意味でもバーサーカーは最強かもしれない。
Yeah.
何しろギリシャ神話における最も有名な英雄だもの。神代の英雄たちはそれだけで特殊な宝具を持っているっていうのに、英雄自体が強いんじゃ手の打ちようがない。
遠坂、その宝具ってなんだ。
そのサーバントが生前使っていたシンボル、英雄と魔剣聖剣の類はセットでしょ。要するに彼らの武装のことよ。
武器ってセイバーの見えない剣とか。
まあね、あれがどんな曰くを持っているか知らないけど、セイバーのあれは間違いなく宝具でしょ。言うまでもないと思うけど、英雄ってのは人名だけじゃ伝説には残れない。彼らにはそれぞれトレードマークとなった武器がある。それが奇跡を願う人々の思いの結晶、ノーブルファンタズムとされる最上級の武装なわけ。
And the weapons should be a form of a hint as to who they actually were, where they came from. Right? Am I getting that?
要するに強力なマジックアイテムってことか。
そうそう、ぶっちゃけた話、英霊だけでは強力な魔術、神秘には太刀打ちできないわ。けれどそこに宝具が絡んでくると話は別よ。宝具を操る英霊は 数段格上の精霊さえ撃ち滅ぼす。何しろ伝説上に現れる聖剣魔剣はほとんど魔法の域に近いんだもの。最強の幻想種である竜を殺す剣だの、万里をかける靴だの、果ては神殺しの魔剣まで。ともかくこれで無敵じゃないはずがないっていうぐらい英霊たちが持つ武装は桁が違う。サーバントの戦いはこの宝具のぶつかり合いにあると言っても過言じゃないわ。
つまり英霊であるサーバントは必ず一つその宝具を持ってるってことだな。
ええ、原則として一人の英霊が持てるのは一つの宝具だけとされるわ。大抵は剣とか槍ね。ほら中国に破山剣ってあるじゃない。一振りしかできないけどその一振りで山をも立つっていう魔術品。それと似たようなものだと思う。
Okay. No, I can definitely roll with that. And I think that answers my question
宝具はそ
slightly.
の神明を呪文にして発動する奇跡だからそうおいそれと使えるものじゃないんだけど。
武器の名前を口にするだけで発動するんだろ。なんだってそれでおいそれと使えないなんてことになるんだ。
あのね、武器の名前を言えばそのサーバントがどこの英雄か分かっちゃうじゃない。
Yep, just completely reveals it.
英雄と魔剣はセットなんだから、武器の名前が分かれば持ち主の名前もおのずと知れてしまう。そうなったら長所も短所も丸分かりでしょ。
I can't remember if when we were facing off against Lancer, both in the prologue and here with Saber, if Lancer had actually mentioned the true name to give us an idea of who he may, what his actual identity may be. I'd have to go back and check that out. Now that I think back, when Lancer used his noble phantasm, Saber immediately figured out his identity. Something about Ireland's Child of Light. Okay, well, I don't really know what to work with on that, to be completely honest. I will go back, though. I kind of want to review those scenes. Okay, so, the servants are separated by classes, and each of them are heroic spirits suited to that class. They're all concealing their identities, and the weapons that they wield are the most powerful aces they got up their sleeve, but they can't use it freely or they would wind up revealing their identity.
以上でサーバント
Inadvertently,
につ
that
いての
is.
講義は終わり。詳しいことはその本を見ればわかるから、一息ついたら目を通しなさい。慣れてくればその本がなくても直感でサーバントを判断できるようになるから。
With that, Tosaka stands up.
さて、それじゃあ私は戻るけど。
ああ、お疲れ様。
I'm still sitting on the floor, so I look up at Tosaka as she gets ready to leave.
協力関係になったからって間違わないでね。私とあなたはいずれ戦う関係にある。
No, I'm aware.
最後の日になって他のマスターたちが倒れているにしろ、全員健在であるにしろ、これだけは変わらない。
Yeah, let's not get too friendly here.
だから
It's gonna be
私を
complicated.
人間と見ない方が楽よ、エミヤ君。
After making very clear where we stand, Tosaka leaves for her home. Oh boy. Now things will get complicated. Of course they're going to. I can already feel myself getting less and less stressed once Tosaka leaves. My feverish body is suddenly overcome with exhaustion and I collapse to the floor. Probably took a whole lot of strength just to, be awake right now. I lie on my side to try to ignore the nausea creeping back over me. The ticking of the clock echoes throughout the quiet living room.
マスター同士の戦いか。
I still don't understand what the heck that is. All I know is that I don't know much. It may have felt more real to me if I was even a little more interested in the Holy Grail.
なぜだろう。聖杯には嫌悪感しか湧かない。
A grail that supposedly grants wishes. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's an artifact powerful enough to summon servants. It may not grant every wish, but it's more than valuable enough for a mage. And yet I have no interest. I might be skeptical because it doesn't feel real to me, but I also feel it's not fair to take a shortcut like that.
それに、 選定方法が戦いだっていうのもタチが悪い。
Yet this is a game of musical chairs. No matter how I feel about it, I will need to overcome my competition to survive, now that I'm involved. And one of the methods to get rid of the competition could be to involve and harm other innocent people. That's why
喜べエミヤシロ。
my reason to fight in the Holy Grail War is not to survive and win.
君の望みはようやく叶う。
Yeah, what did that guy mean? It's to do everything I can to stop those who will try to win by any means necessary. Oh, we're here to spoil the fucking party. I feel dizzy again. Unless, you know, by his wish. I think he actually explained it. You know, we get to be the hero, basically. That's not surprising. No matter how much my body appears healed, it was nearly split in half just a few hours ago. This feeling isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I felt this way for the rest of my life. I was very nearly killed 3 times in one day. There's no denying that someone with no power will wind up hurt if they participate in battle. My own ineptitude nearly cost me my own body. Then that girl got hurt trying to protect me. Ugh. I tried to sit back up.
そうだ、あいつ。
I can't believe myself. I completely forgot about her because Tosuka had settled herself in my living room. Maybe it's more that I was just avoiding thinking about her. I'm such a coward. I was avoiding thinking about the girl who was bleeding miserably, even though I was the reason she got hurt in the first place.
遠坂のやつ、肝心なことは外しやがって。
I shoved myself back up to my feet. Tosuka never said anything about Saber. The only thing she said was that she and Saber brought me home, but she didn't elaborate. The very first thing I should have asked was whether the girl was safe, since Berserker had wounded her. I'm sure she's resting somewhere here. Recovering however servants will recover. I suppress my nausea and make my way through the mansion. Saber is nowhere to be found. I even checked the detached guest rooms, but I can't find her.
あの格好なんだ。いればすぐにわかるってのに。
Even so, a fully armed and armored Saber still eludes me. Supposedly servants can turn into spirit forms, but unfortunately she can't with me. No, first of all,
マスターだなんて言うけど、俺のどこがあいつのマスターだって言うんだ。
well, we need to sit down and talk with her, which is something that Rin tried to do with Archer, but his memories are all gone. I don't even know what Saber is or how servants are able to exist. It's like a new soldier suddenly gets awarded with a tank. But what's fortunate is that this tank has an autopilot. Even if the soldier is incompetent, the tank will run on its own. I bang my head against the pillar, frustrated by my own thoughts.
何腐ってるんだ、バカ。今のはとんでもなく失礼な弱音だった。
I apologize to the blonde girl internally. Right now I need to find her and see if she's okay.
ここにもいない。
I've looked around the entire house. It's the size of a traditional Japanese inn, but I played hide and seek with Fujine when I was a kid, so I know the most efficient way to search it. She must be in the dojo, or the shed if she isn't in the house itself.
庭か蔵か、それとも。
She told me that she was going to protect me, so she's not likely to leave the house. I guess it is daytime. It is for sure daytime. I don't know why, but I was thinking like a whole ass day had passed by. But I guess he really did recover that quickly. I suddenly remember another place. If she's not in the house, the yard, or the shed where we first met, there's another big building within the compound.
間違いない。きっとあそこだ。
I head over as quick as I can. My destination is the Kendo Dojo in a detached building. I'm getting a little nervous. If she's not there, I'll have to accept that she's just disappeared. But if we still have, you know, the command spells, then, you know, she's still around, she's still somewhere. I realize something. I have no clue who she is, but I still want her to be here. That's that connection, that's that master and servant connection. I enter an enclosed room, completely absent any ornamentation, excuse me. It's not a room to live in, and it's a dojo designed only for training. Within the tranquil room lit by the sun. Did we find her? We found her. She sits as if she's always belonged there. The place is hushed, serene. The sunlight coming in is white and untamed, allowing the girl to be one with the dojo. It's the same girl who wielded her sword without hesitation, protecting me from Lancer last night under the moonlight. That golden mane of hers, which had soaked in the blue and white, or the blue-white moonlight, now glitters in the sunlight. And then I remember. This is exactly how I felt when I first saw her. She was clad in armor, wielding her sword and silently overwhelming the enemy. The extraordinary sight of her isn't what surprised me. In fact, it didn't matter how she looked. Even if she had been covered in mud, I don't think my reaction would have been different. The girl who had so moved me is still right here in front of me. I just admire her, forgetting even to breathe. To hell with being a master in the Holy Grail War. In this moment, I have completely accepted the girl called Saber. Well, don't get too attached. I don't know how much time elapsed. Saber opens her eyes as if waking from a slumber. I sound disappointed and my voice echoes through the dojo in the silence. Saber notices and stands up without making a sound. She walks toward me before I can think of what to say.
目が覚めたのですね、シロ。
Her voice is serene. Something rich and calm about her voice hangs in the air.
ああ、ついさっき目が覚めた。
I managed to answer at least. Get it together, man.
顔色が優れないようですが、やはり体調は悪いのですか？
He is not actually. He kind of had a hard-ass time trying to find you, mostly because he's still nauseous.
あ、違う、体調はいい。すごくいい。
I recoil from her. I avert my eyes and try to get my heartbeat under control before my chest bursts.
落ち着け。何緊張してんだ、俺は。
Yeah, honestly, what is wrong with you? I take a deep breath. But I don't think this feeling is going away anytime soon.
なんだって着替えてるんだよ、あいつ。
Saber's appearance is drastically different from yesterday. Yeah, where did these clothes come from? Her outfit now is so ordinary, in stark contrast to her armor. Her appearance takes me by surprise. She seems more real, which confuses the hell out of me. Seriously, she's drop-dead gorgeous. I mean, I saw that yesterday, but it's actually setting in now.
シロ。
As soon as we make eye contact, I can feel my nervousness grow. Then again, I wasn't looking everywhere for her just to stay silent. It's uncomfortable, but I can't let it be awkward forever.
セイバーだったよな。こうやって落ち着いて話すのは初めてだけど。
I bite the bullet. But then...
シロ。話の前に、昨夜の件について言っておきたいことがあります。
Oh, we know. We know all too well, right, gamers? Now, Shirou absolutely fucked up. But the choice I made, I think, at the very end of the day, was the right one, but probably the stupidest. She interrupts me, obviously displeased, making her earlier calm hard to fathom.
いいけど、なんだよ、話って。
ですから昨夜の件です。
Uh-huh.
シロは私のマスターでしょう。そのあなたが、あのような行動をしては困る。戦闘は私の領分なのですから、シロは自分の役割に徹してください。
I'm surprised we made it out alive, honestly.
私でも守りようがない。
Honestly, I was prepared to see like a, a bad end screen of some sort here. Like I finally made my first bad choice. Saber doesn't mince words. Her clipped tone is enough to make me forget my anxiety.
なんだよそれ。あの時はああでもしなけりゃ、お前が切られてたじゃないか。
その時は私が死ぬだけでしょう。シロが傷つくことではなかった。繰り返しますが、今後あのような行動はしないように。マスターであるあなたが私をかばう必要はありませんし、そんな理由もないでしょう。
The girl speaks frankly. She's very clerical.
バカ言ってんな。女の子を助けるのに理由なんているもんか。
The words just pop out before I can think about it. Saber stiffens as if surprised to see me upset at her. I find myself taking a step back under her severe expression. Now I just feel embarrassed, like I've said something incredibly tone deaf. Well, kinda.
ともかく、うちまで運んでくれたのは助かった。それに関しては礼を言う。
それはどうも。サーバントがマスターを守護するのは当たり前ですが、感謝をされるのは嬉しい。シローは礼儀正しいのですね。
いや、別に礼儀正しくなんかないぞ、俺。
There's something more pressing than I need to bring up. Something I should have asked as soon as I got home yesterday. Is she willing to be my servant? And is she really alright with, well, fighting me, or fighting with me in this war?
話を戻すぞ、セイバー。いや、改めて聞くけど、お前のことはセイバーって呼んでいいのか？
はい。サーバントとして契約を交わした以上、私はシローの剣です。その命に従い、敵を撃ち、
She's the perfect woman. It's all a man could really ever ask for. And it's really all a master could really ask of their servant. Saber does not hesitate in the slightest to give her answer. Her tone leaves no room for doubt.
俺の剣になるか。それは聖杯戦争とやらに勝つためにか。
シローはそのために私を呼び出したのではないのですか？
Remember, that needs to be the goal here.
違う。俺がお前を呼び出したのは。
I couldn't just tell her it was a big weird coincidence. And actually, I didn't even summon her. Saber just appeared when I was in trouble and saved me. And here we are. I became Saber's master and I got looped in this battle to the death, this Holy Grail War. I didn't choose any of this. I'm still just an apprentice mage who just got caught up in a battle way beyond my abilities.
それがどうした？どの道戦うしかないって覚悟はしたんだ。今さら泣き言なんて言ってられるか。
I shake my head, trying to stop myself from whining. No more of that. I've already said I would fight. I can't just drop everything and run. This will be the last time I whine aloud or think negatively. Alright guys, write that down. Write that shit down. This is definitely not going to be the last time he whines aloud or thinks negatively. No matter how I get involved, I have decided to fight.
シロー。
いや、なんでもない。けどセイバー、俺についても勝ち目は薄いぞ。俺は遠坂みたいに知識も力もないから、明日にでも昨日みたいなことになりかねない。
それは戦う意志がないということですか？
戦う意志はある。ただ賞賛がないから、そんな俺についていいのかって言いたいんだ。経過はどうあれ、これは俺が始めると決めた戦いだ。だから。
I don't think it's right for someone to get hurt on my behalf. Even if I'm weak, having Saber fight and having her get hurt like that? Yeah, that was not the greatest of sights. I can't stand that happening again.
私のマスターはあなたです、シロー。これはどうあっても変わらない。サーバントにマスターを選ぶ自由はないのですから。
She's right. That is the whole reason that Saber is my servant. If it's true, I will need to respect Saber's needs and actions as best as I can.
わかった。それじゃあ、俺はお前のマスターでいいんだな。
ええ。ですがシロー、私のマスターに敗北は許さない。
Okay.
あなたに賞賛がなければ私が作る。可能であるすべての手段を用いて、あなたには聖杯を手に入れてもらいます。
I respect the optimism. To obtain the Holy Grail, Tosuka said that servants also have a wish they want granted. Saber is no exception. That's why she hasn't hesitated up to this point. But it's also why...
待った、セイバー。可能であるすべての手段と言ったな。それは、勝つためには手段を選ばないってことか。
I can't finish my sentence. Saber looks at me as if she's looking at an enemy.
シロー、それは可能である手段ではありません。私が許す行為しかできない。自分を裏切ることは私には不可能です。
Okay, perfect.
剣を持たぬ人間に傷を負わせることなど、騎士の視界に反します。
Honestly, these two are perfect for each other then.
ですが、マスターが命じるのであれば従うしかありません。その場合、私に踏み入る代償として、その刻印を一ついただくことになりますが。
I get overwhelmed by the edge in her voice. At the same time, I feel relief flooding through me. Saber seemed like a robot because of her extraordinary power and lack of hesitation. But I know now that she's not some cold-blooded killer. No, that's Berserker.
そんなことは絶対にさせない。セイバーの言う通り、俺たちはできる範囲で何とかするしかないからな。本当にすまなかった。知らずにお前を侮辱しちまった。
あ、いえ。私もマスターの意図がつかめずに早合点してしまいました。シローは悪くないのですから、頭を上げてくれませんか？
思わず謝ってた。
I raise my head. God damn it, man. She's so great. I don't know what's so funny, but Saber has a small smile on her face. I'm glad she seems happy, so I don't press her.
言い忘れていた。できる範囲で何とかするって言っただろ。その一環としてしばらく遠坂と協力することになったんだ。ほら、
How could she
昨日
forget?
一緒にいたアーチャーの
Honestly.
マスター。
リンですか？そうですね。確かにそれは賢明な判断です。シローがマスターとして成熟するまで、彼女には教わるものがあるでしょう。
That's a relief. As long as Saber agrees, I can work together with Tosaka without hesitation. The only other thing I need to ask her right now is... Well, we could ask where she got the clothes, but I don't think that's, super important. I don't think it's super important to... Well, it is important to ask if she's okay, but we need to know her identity. It'll give us a better idea of who she is. Plus, that helps my curiosity. I do have, a couple of ideas. Maybe. I don't know if, Okay, it could be a hero from myth or reality, historical hero, right? So, and this is a knight. Yeah, whatever. So maybe we should ask what hero Saber is rather than ask if she's okay. I mean, she appears to be okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing that I did to my past self, and I'm going to fuck over my future self by saving it there, and we have more menu choices here. But we're going to save it there, and we'll come back, and I'll make a decision. I don't know what that decision will be, but I'll make a decision. All right, what do we have here? We have the servant chart. Oh, okay, this will... Perfect. This tells us exactly a lot of really cool information on who we know. Okay, cool. So this is Saber. Pretty good stats here. C on the Noble Phantasm, really. Hero info, we don't know anything. Skill, okay, wow. Wow, this is pretty fucking deep. Okay. And then Noble Phantasm. Barrier of the Wind King. The Unseen Sword. Okay, I gotta read through these. I was actually told to, take a look at this. Then we have Lancer. His agility is pretty high up. That makes sense. His luck stat is just dog shit. Perfect. That's his true name. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that, actually. Yeah, we don't know the true name of Saber quite yet. We don't know the master here of Lancer. Okay. Well, okay, Ireland, as we were told. So I can read up on this. Probably not a bad idea to do so before our next recording session. Some of his skills and the Noble Phantasm, which we have now seen, which luckily did not kill Saber. That was good, We have Archer. All right. We don't know his noble phantasm. His luck stat is also pretty dog shit. Honestly, he seems very average. He really does. All right, so we only know 2 of his skills. We don't know his noble phantasm. We don't know rider, caster, or assassin. Berserker. Here we go. Obviously, we now know his true name and master. This is actually the only one where we have all of that figured out. But look at those stats, man. Look at these fucking stats. He's got the A+ in strength. Jesus Christ. And there we go, Greek mythology, as we would all know. Excuse me, and all of his lovely skills, and the noble phantasm, which I guess we don't know. Immortality that was gained from God's blessing, curse, turns the body into sturdy armor, nullifies all attacks ranked B or below. That is ridiculous. Holy shit. And we have one weapon, the unnamed axe sword. Oh, from Berserker. Okay. I see. All right. Cool. All right. There we have it. I will definitely do a little bit of reading before our next recording session, just so I feel, informed and somewhat intelligent before we dive back in. But thank you all for tuning into this one. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.